Porter, I asked Waldo and Jamie in this too, but it seems like Waldo, Latre, John, coming off the bench, it seems like they've had such a big impact this season. Just the consistency they brought. What have you seen from those three guys specifically, the way they've been able to impact every game so far?
A selfless mentality. Of course, they want to start. There's no shortage of us letting them know how valuable they are. We have 8 starters. That's how I perceive them. They've just accepted it and are thriving in knowing that they're going to get their minutes, and they're playing a valuable role. And I think that's when you define our rotation. Our rotation's defined. We're in an 8-man rotation right now. They know they're going to get in. They know we talk about getting your mind in the game before your body. And as they don't start the game, their mind's getting in the games before their body, and they get in there and they get ready. But those three have had huge impacts coming into the game, and it's what's making us better. It's what's making us good right now, is that we're deeper, and those guys are selfless. It's not being about them. They're not, they could sit there and pout because they're not starting, but they realize, man, I'm still going to get 20-some minutes, and I got to produce, and they are.
In your time here, it seems like you guys haven't had any issues ever with like overlooking opponents or anything like that. What goes into getting the guys to be bought in and paying attention of who's in front of them as opposed to maybe trying to look ahead to Wednesday or stuff like that?
I think they'll tell you that it starts with our coaching staff. I don't prepare any different for Kansas than I do Texas State. I mean, it's a thorough preparation. It's a confident respect. We use that term, a confident respect for every single opponent. You respect their strengths. You respect what they do that could beat you. You got to know what can they do to beat you, and you got to eliminate those things. And we prepare the same way. I think the guys will tell you, my demand on the scouting, my demand on the preparation is literally no different from every opponent. And these guys believe that the game in front of us is our marquee game. That game, the next game is our marquee game.
Going off that, do you point to like the Creighton losing to UNLV the other night, like, hey, don't get your eyes wide, like, because anything can happen on any given night?
I'll tell you, I have before in my coaching career, but I almost don't want to have a self-fulfilling prophecy. Hey, did you see what happened with this team right there? It's like I don't want to. I'm just feeding them positives. Like, this is what we're going to do to win this game. I'm just kind of, and it's that confident respect. This is what Green Bay can do to beat you. They have a tremendous plug defense. If you go too far with your dribbling, you get turnovers. They do a lot of really good ghost screening. I mean, they try to confuse you. You're going to see more of what we call ghost screens, where they come into the screen and they slip them. We're going to see more of those than we see in any one game all year. Your communication's got to be great, so that they can hurt you if you're not communicating. So we really talk like that instead of a self-fulfilling prophecy of kind of trying to put this negative in their head that it can get beat. I think they know how we prepare.
Weird, like the 8 p.m. tip, not super normal for like non-conference play. The 8 p.m. tip, but it's something that you get into a ton with Big 12 play, especially stacking the midweek stuff. I know it's graduation stuff, but in a weird way, is it helpful just to get one of those out of the way, just to be like, hey,
the
dry
8 p.m.
run.
tips don't really happen on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that's just, some places like Saturday, I think they're going to draw more on a Saturday night. College towns, I don't know. Well, sometimes college kids don't go out till late anyway, so that's what I'm hoping. But I know it's finals week, but I don't know. It just, we're going to get late starts. I don't really look at it. I haven't really put too much thought to it that it's going to help us in the future. We just been focused on like what we got to do. I really haven't put much thought to that.
They changed the rule this year, being able to add a couple more coaches. What if Clayton and Paul really added?
So for us, it's been such a great rule because Paul and Clay, they're youthful. They're great at skill development. That skill development spot, like the player development, was a facade. I mean, you could have a player development coach, but he couldn't work with the players. Like, that is the biggest joke of a title. And now, once we were able to change that rule, I went right after a guy, Paul, 5 years, player development in the NBA. That resonates with guys, that resonates with recruits, and he does an outstanding job working with them. And you know, Clay, Brock, Hump, Gates, it gives you more guys that can work with guys. It's one of the few rules that just absolutely benefits. It's a no-brainer to get more guys that can help and coach. And I love the attention to detail of coaching, and it just gives us more voices that can coach the details.